I want you to know what the hell Durham's probably looking at with the Clinton Foundation and why the FBI just may have sort of mishandled it. I'm going to get to this article by John Solomon. It's an older one, but it's in the show notes today. But remember, these show notes, they have older articles that are now new again, if you know what I mean. I believe the gist of what Durham may be looking at is, and I've got this on pretty decent authority, is how is it that the FBI opened up a case against Carter Page and spied on the Trump team because of it? Carter Page, a Trump campaign associate, when they had no information at all outside of the PP dossier. In other words, just a hoax, a myth that was made up by Steele. How is it that the full force of the FBI landed on Carter Page and the Trump team? And yet with the Clinton Foundation, there were emails on a documented money trail of severe malfeasance, and yet nothing seems to happen. I'm getting from some birdies out there that those disparities and the choices that are made to forego one investigation, the Clinton Foundation investigation, despite mounds of evidence, to investigate Carter Page and the Trump team despite no evidence at all, that may have some people's antenna up. Ding, 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 ding. Well, what could they be looking into? That's what I'm here for. John Solomon piece at the Hill. Paula laughed because I sent her 4 screenshots. And what have I told you for the last 3 days? We never use 4 screenshots, except for the last 3 days where we've used 4 screenshots. She's like, you really need to stop telling the audience that. You're probably right. This one's great. It's an older piece in the show notes today by John Solomon, and I strongly encourage you to read it. Bill Clinton sought State Department permission to meet with Russian nuclear official during Obama uranium decision. Wow. He did? That's weird. So again, Durham's looking into the Clinton Foundation, the FBI's handling of it, and I'll bet you he's looking at the fact that why, with this evidence staring us in the face with the Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton, Uranium One, and all this, why did they not get a once-over? Oh, you can't look into them. They're a protected class, Joe. What are they? Democrats. We're not allowed to do that. The media. The media will call you a racist. Remember? Response, reward. Response, call him a racist. Reward, no Clinton investigation. I think Durham's kind of like, yeah, I don't really care about that. You can extinction burst all you like. But we're going to check this out, why you guys didn't investigate this, because the evidence is troubling. Let's go to the evidence. So here's screenshot number 1 of 4, which Paula finds funny. We never use 4 screenshots, despite every show this week. So screenshot number 1. So Bill Clinton in 2010, as the Rosatom was looking to buy uranium in the United States, nuclear fuel, that kind of stuff. Should we sell that to the Russians? Probably not. But whatever, Bill Clinton doesn't seem to care. So Clinton prepared to collect a $500,000 payday in Moscow in 2010 as they were looking at this Uranium One deal. And he sought clearance from the State Department to meet with a key board director of the Russian nuclear energy firm Rosatom. He did, which at the time needed the Obama administration's approval for a controversial uranium deal, government records show. So we have government records on this. That's really strange. This goes on. It gets even better. Remember this name, too. Arkady Dvorkovich, a top aide to then Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, and one of the highest-ranking government officials to serve on Rosatom's board of supervisors, was listed on a May 14, 2010 email? You mean there's an email? Gosh, that sounds like evidence. Maybe I'm crazy. As one of 15 Russians Bill Clinton wanted to meet with during a late June 2010 trip, the documents show. So Durham's looking into the Clinton Foundation. What could he possibly be looking into? So Bill Clinton, in case the liberals, that's how the Clinton Foundation got it, Bill Clinton, Hillary. They may be thinking it's George Clinton, the singer. It's Bill Clinton. So the Clinton Foundation they may be looking into. Right in 2010, as Russians are looking to buy our uranium through this company Rosatom in the United States. Probably not a good idea, no? I'm just throwing that out. Joe, Russians selling them our nuclear fuel, enemies of the whole United States thing. I saw Red Dawn. Wolverines, right? I mean, that's not the limit of my foreign policy experience, Red Dawn. But we all kind of know, that's probably not a good idea. Joe agrees with a thorough white paper analysis, and on page 22, he comes to the conclusion that not good. Well said, Joe. Well said.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. So Bill Clinton, at the time they're getting ready to look at this deal to sell the Russians nuclear fuel, Bill Clinton takes a trip, or asks for permission to take a trip, I should say. Precision matters. Via email, so we know it's an actual piece of evidence. to be paid $500,000 to travel over there to meet with a guy, Arkady Dvorkovich, who sits on the board of the Russian company looking to buy our uranium, as his wife is the State Department person who's one of the people who's going to look at that deal. It sounds kind of weird, right? Sounds like if you replace that name with Donald Trump, Ivanka, or Melania Trump, that someone would be in prison right now. Now, you may say if you're a liberal, and which means you probably don't know what you're talking about. All right, Dan, so the husband of the Secretary of State, Bill Clinton, who runs the Clinton Foundation, was going to be paid $500,000 to speak in Russia and emailed someone for permission to meet with a board member of a Russian company trying to buy our nuclear fuel in a deal Mrs. Clinton was looking at. It sounds a little rough, I'll give you that, but it's not too bad. Oh, don't worry, as always, I have more. So who was Arkady Dvorkovich, and, why does this matter? Let's go to screenshot number 2, the deuce on this one. So the first person Clinton wanted to meet with was Dvorkovich, chief deputy of the Russian president and one of the Russian nuclear power industry's cheerleaders. It's unbelievable. He also sat on the supervisory board of Rosatom, the state-owned atomic energy company that was in the midst of buying a Canadian uranium company called Uranium One. The deal required approval from CFIUS, it's a foreign investment committee, an intergovernmental panel represented by 14 departments and offices that approve transactions and investments by foreign companies for national security purposes. Approval meant that control of 20%, listen to this. Approval meant that control of 20% of U.S. uranium production would be shifting to the Russian-owned Rosatom's control. So again, for the liberals who are having a hard time following this, who are still thinking, Trump, Russia, collusion. Really? Sounds like Hunter Biden Russia collusion, as we covered earlier in this week. And this story we're covering today sounds a whole lot like Hillary Clinton Russian collusion. What's she hiding? Her husband's meeting with the board member of a Russian company trying to buy access to 20% of our uranium. Nuclear bombs and stuff. Sounds bad, right? Even the liberals are probably now like, yeah, I won't acknowledge it publicly, won't change my vote because I just don't care. But yeah, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, if that was the Trumps, you're right. They would definitely be guillotined by now. This can't possibly get worse. Oh, no, it does, because Bill Clinton didn't only want to meet with Dvorkovich from Rosatom, the board member. He wanted to meet with someone else, too. A blast from the past for you regular listeners. He wanted to meet with a guy named Victor Vekselberg, too. Who the heck is that? What does that have to do with anything? It's all about Skolkovo. Let's go to screenshot number 3, the trifecta. The second person on the list of people Clinton wanted to meet with that caught the attention of our officials here was Russian businessman Victor Vekselberg. Who the hell's that? 2 days after Hillary Clinton's visit to Russia, Vekselberg was named by Medvedev, the Russian president, to oversee a new technology investment project called Skolkovo. There you go, that crazy Skolkovo. Designed to be Russia's new Silicon Valley, according to media reports. Hillary Clinton had directly discussed the Skolkovo project with Medvedev, and her State Department was whipping up support for it amongst U.S. companies. They were? Hillary Clinton's whipping up support for a Russian Silicon Valley type project? What the hell? Creating the potential appearance for a conflict. She even attended a major event with the Russians in 2010 to promote the Skolkovo project. Oh, boy. So her husband's meeting with the uranium company board member trying to buy access to our nuclear fuel. Gosh, that sounds really bad. Looks like he's getting paid. The meeting didn't happen, by the way, but he's emailing people asking for permission for it, just to be clear. That's called evidence in some limited circles of people on the liberal side who understand clues. Getting paid $500K, that's nice money. I'll take that. I could use that right now. He also wants to meet with one of the executives in charge of the Skolkovo project. A project being pushed by Hillary Clinton in Russia, not here. Why would she be doing that? I'll get back to Skolkovo in a minute and why Bill might have met with this Skolkovo executive. But one more from the Solomon piece. Because you may say, now this is starting to sound really, really bad. Oh, it gets worse. It always does. Last screenshot from the Solomon piece. It's worth your time. A third issue that emerged was the speaking fee, which is being paid by Renaissance Capital, a Russian bank that paid the $500,000 fee to the former president for his 90-minute June 29, 2010 speech. One of the largest one-day fees Bill Clinton ever earned. That's a lot of dinero for 90 minutes. That's not minimum wage. Renaissance Capital had ties with the Kremlin. Oh my gosh. And was talking up the Uranium One purchase in 2010, giving it encouraging investment ratings in Russia right at the time the U.S. was considering approval of the Uranium One sale, according to reports in the New York Times in 2015. Wait. Come on. So Clinton's getting paid $500K to speak in Russia while his wife is looking at a deal for the Russians to buy our nuclear fuel, being paid $500K by a bank involved in the investment, in grading the investment to buy the nuclear fuel and talking up the deal. And he's also asking to meet with a guy who's an executive on a Silicon Valley project called Skolkovo that his wife is talking up. And the members of that team made donations to the Clinton Foundation. Oh, I haven't even gotten to that yet. This story gets more delicious by the minute. I'm just giving some guide markers for people out there wondering why John Durham would be looking into the Clinton Foundation. Gee, I don't know. Maybe the mounds of evidence that there could have been potential bribes here.
You just heard Dan Bongino.